where were you when the news broke? Because for me, I was at work. I got a message from a very good friend, and I just saw, he just said, no, that's what he just wrote in the text. No, I was like, what's no? So I had to ask him what, and then he said, Klopp is gone. I was like, what? So I couldn't concentrate at work. I think at work that day, I probably did only maybe 1 hour of work and 7 hours of checking social media and checking all the news. I didn't concentrate at work at all. So how did you take it? Where were you, Lingerr, when the news broke?
So it was maybe 5:45 in the morning in California, and I woke up and I had a ton of messages and notifications, and I kind of ignored them. And I was checking my email, and someone who randomly sends me emails about his theories about Liverpool sometimes sent me just so you know, I heard that Klopp's leaving, and I'm like, this guy's a psycho, whatever. And then I opened up, when I saw the number of messages I had in each of my Liverpool support groups, I was like, okay, either someone's died or worse, Klopp is leaving. So, so I found out through, and then of course my brother who supports United was waiting and waiting and waiting for me to wake up so that I could find out, so that he could laugh at my pain. What a shock. My God.
I think it's testament to how good Klopp has been, that you listen to Manchester United fans, you listen to Arsenal fans, all your major
all
rivals.
Celebrated.
We're all happy. We're all happy. Everyone's having fun because of his consistency. It's been a pain. It's been a big pain for us. I mean, look at Arsenal. Have we won at Anfield in the league since it's been there?
No.
Right? So just think about that, right? Even last season when we had our best team under Mikel Arteta, we still didn't win. Even after going 2 goals ahead, so it's, I'm happy days.
Yeah, so how are you coping now, Lingerr?
Well, I watched the video earlier today. I hadn't watched it. I had decided not to, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna be on the pod. I'm gonna watch it, and cried a lot again. It's hard. It's a lot of people have been like, oh, who are we gonna bring, or what does this mean for our achievement in the future? And I still feel like I'm not even really truly there yet. I just I'm not even that young, but Klopp's been a manager for a third of my life. He's just the manager in so many important moments for our team and for me personally, and just moments in the world. So it's something I never expected. I actually don't think I thought that he was going to sign another contract, but I thought we still had those 2 more years and not this season. And even watching, so going back to what you're saying about how he entered, he talked in his interview a few days ago about how he's leaving. He'd rather leave slightly early than slightly too late. And I think that's fair. I think that about Arsene, actually, one of the greatest managers of all time, and the kind of not great way he left Arsenal. And I'm glad that that's not what's happening with Jurgen, but it still seems so early. And anyone who's just seen him talk, everyone's gonna miss him being a character, at least, even if you're not gonna miss Liverpool whooping your teams. But him talking a lot about how he wants to figure out who he is outside of football, and how he just hasn't lived a normal life, and he wants to see what else there is. And I've thought a lot about, he was just so honest about how I can only be successful if I'm really energetic about it, and right now I just feel like I don't have the energy. And I think last season we were all talking a lot about how is this it or whatever, and I'm glad that he stayed, and now he's built up something so great for the next manager, and he's just being honest, and he's just I don't have it in me. And there's so much about burnout and mental health or whatever, and for me, that's what's real. This is one of those moments where I'm I'm so sad, I'm devastated, but I'm also, as usual, I just really respect his perspective and his authenticity about listen, I could still do it. He even said and they would never sack me, so even if I lost my energy, people wouldn't be able to tell, and no one would fire me, but I would know myself, so to make this choice on my own. And everyone who's watching this, watch the Klopp interview. It's really, really interesting. He's very transparent as usual.
That's the thing.
He insisted several times that he's not sick and Ula's not sick. I'm a little worried that someone's sick because it just seems out of nowhere, but he said a few times that's not the case.
I know there will always be agendas. I already see people saying, oh, it's Liverpool's owners' fault. FSG, the owners are the ones that pushed them out. They didn't give him money. I'm not a very big fan of the owners, but I'm not going to go on that agenda. I don't even have enough emotional. I don't have enough emotional bandwidth to go on that conspiracy theory that I just want to process it and take it for face value for what he has said, and I believe him. I think he just feels he won't have enough to give after next season. So it's better to just
Yeah.
wrap it up this season. I believe him. I don't think there's anything ulterior. Hopefully, there's nobody sick. I believe
Yeah.
when he said there's nobody sick, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just don't think he has. I think like that Batman film, it's better to die a hero than live long
Yeah.
enough to see
Long
yourself
enough to
become
see
a
yourself
villain.
become the. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
just go
Living on
out when
good
the ovation
terms.
is loudest. Because I mean, things are on the up. We still might not win anything this season, but at least we're still in a better position than. I think you wanted to explain why you have your name as Saliba's uncle.
When Arsenal went in for Saliba, I didn't know who he was, but I knew that there were lots of interest, and so I went and looked him up. The first thing I saw was he was just an absolute unit. He's just so
Mm,
big. And I was like, who's this guy? And then the name sounds so ethnic, like
mm-hmm,
so like Saliba. It's like some African warrior, like
mm.
like some mythical African warrior, and he's big. He can play football, and he looks so confident. I was like, yeah, that's my guy. And there's
Yeah.
this thing in football where if a player gets injured during the time they're out, they just become better. So with Saliba, when we got him, we just picked him up so much that we started thinking that this guy is gonna do something special. He's gonna be this special thing, and I'm actually surprised that he's actually this good.